Hello watchers, today I have got a little haul from Jackson's, but it's focused on Etchr products because I needed a new sketchbook for watercolour, or rather watercolour paper, not necessarily for watercolours. And I also needed some new brushes, so I got some bits. So I'll go through the sketchbooks first. The reason why I went for the Etchr ones was because they do it in the B5 size, which I love, because I find that the A5 is just a little bit too small for me, and I always have difficulty sort of carrying around an A4, so this is sort of like a compromise in a way. But this is nice. It's a nice canvas cover, so you can actually paint on this with the little embroidered llama. Is it llama or is it an alpaca? I don't know. But yeah, so this is the cold press version. So this one's the textured paper. And one of the things I was looking at when I was looking around things was the fact that they use the paper that you get in the sketchbook right from the first page, like as soon as you flip the hardcover. So there's no like end papers. You still get that weird page that I always sort of like to do something with, but we'll see. The other thing is you get a pocket as well. What's this? Oh, a little note thing. Oh, just this. Yeah, so the cotton fabric cover. B5, 25 by 17.6 centimeters. Mixed media heavyweight paper. 220 GSM, 100% cotton, cold press. Both sides can be used for painting. Ideal for pen, ink, watercolor, and gouache. 52 acid-free pages, 26 sheets. And then obviously tag your art, and you could win a art voucher. So that's quite a nice thing to have in the bag. You also get a ribbon. It's a nice grey. The Etchrs are definitely my sort of colour palette. Grey, creams, whites. No copper, but you know, maybe one day. So that's nice. I got a cold press to actually start practicing my watercolour with. Even though I'm not a huge watercolourist and I do have such a headache with watercolour, I do want to practice it because I like the idea of it, so I do want to practice. But then I also went ahead and got a same size but a hot pressed sketchbook, just to A, see the difference, and B, I want to use the hot pressed for ooh, I don't know if the cameras are going to pick that up, but there's definitely a, like, this is the cotton one, cold press one. Can you see the texture there? Yeah, you can when I play with the shadow. Whereas a smooth one, it is much smoother than the cold press. Because some brands, oh, you can see it better on the top camera. Yeah, so this is the cold press, this is the hot press. So think the hot press, yeah, I think the hot press is a little bit more yellow, cream coloured than the cold press, but only slightly. But yeah, I wanted to get a hot press for gouache, traditional gouache. Gouache. Because I want to start getting into traditional gouache as well as acrylic gouache, because if anyone's watched any of my videos, you know I like my acrylic gouache, so I'm gonna try using traditional gouache, which again is something I struggle with, getting the consistency right and stuff like that, so I just want to try that. But the other thing that I like about these Etchr books is they're not too thick, so I feel like I can fill them up, whereas this is just an Etchr and olive, but can you see the thickness difference? It's, I think, almost double. Hang on, if I put two, that's not going to work because obviously the covers, but I think it's almost double. I think there's 152 pages in these, but obviously these are not watercolored papers. These are, you know, they're much thinner, but there's a lot more pages in there, so it does take longer to fill up. Whereas I always have that thing where I've got lots of sketchbooks with few blank pages left or not full, whereas these I think I can fill up quite nicely. So yeah, one for gouache, one for watercolors, and there will be, I think the next sort of video that you'll see with Etchr will be me swatching out all of my Sminky watercolor, so keep an eye out for that video. And then on here for the gouache, I'm gonna just, well, I'm just collecting all the materials together to get I'm going to do a gouache showdown video like I did for the acrylic gouache, but it's for traditional gouache. So I'm going to be testing the different brands, because there are so many different brands for gouache, for the traditional one anyway. So I'm going to be doing that, and then whoever one I prefer using, I'll then, you know, get a few of theirs and then start using it in the hot press. So just put them to the side for now. Then the other thing I want to do, that I like the idea of doing, is making my own palette with gouache though, not watercolor. So I thought I would give Etchr's little mini palettes a go, because it is something I want to start and do and actually take stuff with me and draw and paint, which at the moment I don't do any of. So it is another thing I want to get into doing, especially for when I'm on site and things, because we need to take a lot of, as architects, you need to take a lot of information and data, and you know, it's just nice to be able to splash some colour on the pages. So I thought I would give, what's this? Oh, we've got a colour swatch. I went ahead and got the, is it the 19 Wells? Is that what it's called? Yeah, 19 Wells palette, as opposed to, I think they do one with like, I don't know, 30 wells in it or something that's so small. So with this one, the porcelain, which again I love. So this is what I'll use for mixing sort of tray. And then you've got these felt things in between them to stop some scratching up. And then you've got these 19 wells that put your colour in. The reason why I went for the 19 rather than the 38 or whatever it is because gouache, I think, needs a little bit more room. It probably actually needs more room than this. I didn't realise how small this was. I was thinking it was going to be bigger. But we'll see how we go with it. And I'll do a separate video on how I set this palette up. And then obviously go in more depth into what brand I use or whatever I do decide to do with it. But I really like this. It's tiny though. I mean, literally fits in the palm of my hand. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. I just like how it sort of just all goes in a airtight tin, because again the airtightness might be useful for the gouache. I expect the gouache to dry out, but with it being an airtight tin it might take longer, so we'll see how that works out. And then I went ahead, because I needed some more brushes, and I love my Princeton Velvet Touch, but they are so hard to get in the UK, especially when you just want an individual size. Because I don't have any like super duper fine detailed brushes. Well, I do, but they're like super cheap brands that spray out, so it's just not very good. But look at this. This is nice fabric. It's like canvas cotton sort of fabric, but then they've printed the logo on the inside, which is really nice. And then, ooh, we got an assortment. So it's these brushes. Oh, hello, we've got orange tips. So it's these teeny tiny sizes that, you know, I was after. So let's use an actual background. There we go. I believe this is a number 1, but all different brands have their own sizes. So we've got a 1, a 3, a 6, a 8, a 10, a 12, ½ inch, an angled 3/8, and a 1/4 inch, and then a fan brush, which is a number 1. But yeah, I just wanted to give these a go. But these are nice. These feel nice in the hand as well. And the orange tips for the on-brand Etchr. But yeah, be interested in starting to use these. But yeah, this video is not sponsored by Etchr or anything. I've bought these myself from Jackson's. I believe they're an Australian brand, so I think you can buy direct from them, but I think you have to buy in bulk, so you have to get like 3 sketchbooks of the same ilk at once, because they're in Australia, so it's the shipping costs are a nightmare and things. So I think it's better if you buy in bulk, etc. So that's why they just do bulk things. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't know, but no, I thought I'd just show you some new goodies that I've got in the studio before I start using them. But I really like this wrap. I don't know why, it just feels so... Have I done that the right way? Yeah. Just feels nice to use. I wish they'd put the logo like there though, so the tie doesn't get caught up. But anyway, that's my own personal opinion. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if any of you guys use Etchr stuff or have used it, and how you find them, or if you've got any tips or tricks for me. Of course, I will be happy to hear them. Any advice would be welcome. But yes, thanks so much for watching my video, and in the meantime, happy architecting.